So this one's going to be about starting something from nothing. What I've noticed about starting something from nothing is that it can be really hard to get traction, and it can be really hard to take that first risk and initially get any sort of um, like progress or some sort of difficult work done. But what I've noticed is that the fact that you've even started something and you're actually taking a risk on creating a business, for example, you'll actually go a far way and you'll actually make it through tough times if you can stay consistent and keep working smarter and not harder. But that's just my point of view. This is Just John O, and today I want to talk about starting something from nothing and how it can actually be such a benefit to you if you start something from nothing. And it's not always a negative thing because you can always see the positive side out of it if you actually try and actually uh, try and create something from scratch, and B would be another thing is actually continue to do what you've been trying. So for example, me, I've actually created this channel because of one of those reasons being that when I'm starting something from nothing, I have to realize that I'm at the entry level beginning part of it and I'm only at the start of it. So what I need to do is not only just try to get to point B, but actually try to get to further than that and move past my plateau, because I've reached my plateau. And that's something I've noticed happens when you start from something when you start something from nothing. And the reason being, you really know what you're doing as in a formula, but when you keep doing that as in a routine for a long time, you're going to realize that you start to get the same results, and then you start to realize the ROI on it, the return on investment, isn't that high. And the main thing to do when starting nothing from something is to always have a good product, is what I was saying earlier, which would be whatever. Let's just say you want to sell clothing. You actually want to buy the brands that people like the most and are the most popular and aren't as common to find. So, another thing I've noticed when it came from me saying starting nothing from something was to actually start to sell trading cards. I've actually started to sell trading cards and I've actually made some successful sales. But the main thing that I realized is that you actually need a good, not only just post on your social media to promote it, but you actually need a good page so that when people go on to it, it's like an online store. And they also need to make sure that it's actually a scarce item that they're buying. Because if it's a scarce item they're buying, like let's just say for example a really rare Pokemon card or a Magic the Gathering card, they're gonna actually be interested in it because it's something that A isn't in their collection or B could be in their collection. Starting nothing from something is, it can be quite challenging if you actually quit, is what I've noticed, right? So if you quit doing something and then you started it from nothing, you're gonna realize you're never gonna see the full return on it or the results that you want to see, but if you can actually stay long term and actually stay consistent in what you're doing and always try to learn from others, right? So another thing I would say about even selling those trading cards would be to look at other people's pages that do this as well and try to mimic them in a certain way, because that would actually be the best thing you could do. You could learn from others, and then you could eventually make sure that your product that you are selling is actually top notch and the best that could be out there on the market. Anyways, this is Just John O. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.